This is how you unlock all 3 wicked relics inside Cursed Mode in Black Ops 7 Zombies. First off, starting with the Bloodville relic. To do this relic, normally you have to get around 60, but I'm going to show you how to do it on as little as around 30. So make sure you stick around and watch carefully, because this is going to save you a ton of time and make it 10 times easier. Now, to activate a portal for this relic, you have to interact with 5 phones that will spawn every 10 rounds. So the first one spawning around 20, the next one 30, 40, 50, and 60, and then it should spawn. Now, these are going to spawn in all different locations. I will show you the locations here. The first one's going to be at the desk next to the zip line up by Vulture Aid. The next one's going to be in the room next door where you buy armor on the counter right here. The next one, if you go to the Cosmodrome and go to the room behind Whip's Tea, there'll be a phone on the counter right here. The next one, if you go to exit 115 and open the garage, by the exit, it'll be sitting next to the till right here. Then there'll be another one at exit 115. If you go into the actual diner, there'll be one sitting on the counter right here. The next place it could be, if you go over to Blackwater Lake, if you go into the shack where the crafting table is, it might be sitting right here. The next place for a phone, if you go over Janice Towers where you get quick revive, where you normally get Tez Head, there might be sitting on the counter right here. The next spot, a Vandal Farm, as you open the house, all you got to do is turn left and there might be a phone right here. And then if you go upstairs, next to the hole in the wall, there might be a phone sitting right here. And then the last one, the most dangerous one, if you go over to the Lost Cabins by Blackwater Lake, it might be sitting on this little table here. Now, these phones are super loud, so you literally cannot miss it. So you shouldn't have no problem finding them at all. But lucky for you, you only have to find 2 to do this relic. And I'm going to show you exactly how right now. Right, to start this relic, you have to make it to around 20 because that is when the first phone is going to spawn. So you want to look for your first phone. I was quite lucky because I was right next to mine. As you can see, it is spawned right next to the armor at Ashwood. Now, you do not want to interact with this phone. You want to completely leave it and make your way to round 30 when the next phone's going to spawn. Now, once reaching round 30, you want to search for your next phone. So you're now going to have 2 phones calling. As you can see here, my one was at the Cosmodrome. Now, once you get to your phone, what you want to do, you want to keep on spamming interact until it completely vanishes. Then once it has vanished, you want to head over to the first phone, which was at Ashwood, and you want to quickly spam interact to that phone. Now, this phone will not vanish. Just keep on spamming your interact button, and then you will know it's complete when you hear Mr. Peak's laugh. Now that it's done, the portal should be activated at Blackwater Lake, but I would recommend getting a few things before you go into this portal, because every single zombie, elite and special are going to do 50% less damage. So I would recommend getting a ray gun. I would recommend pack-a-punching it to tier 3, getting some Casmirs, and also an insta-kill and a max ammo. But once you got all that, make your way over to Blackwater Lake, where the portal is going to be inside the cabin against the wall here. And once you've entered the portal, as I said, all zombies are going to deal 50% damage, and you're going to have to do 6 waves. So the first 2 waves, you just have to kill zombies and specials. Then wave 3, you're going to have to kill 2 HVTs, which is either going to be a Doppelgast or a Mimic. And then the next wave, 4 and 5, you're just going to have to kill normal zombies again until the bar is complete. These may be elites and specials. And the last one, you're going to have to kill a bunch of HVTs, and that could either be a bear, a Doppelgast, or a Mimic. Now, the easiest way I found to do this trial is just pretty much just to run rings around the cabin, especially when you just have to kill the zombies. I would just run in rings using my brain rot, using my ray gun, just to kill as many normal zombies as I can. Then for the HVTs, I would either rather use a kill streak, my insta kill, or use a Casimir just to make them easier to kill. Honestly, just take your time with this relic, because it can be pretty difficult. There is literally no time limit, so just take as long as you want. But once you've completed this, you are going to be granted with the wicked tier 3 Bloodville relic. Next, we've got the Dragon's Head relic, where you have to beat the boss fight around 60, which is absolutely insane. So make sure you watch carefully, because this is one of the hardest relics to do at the moment. Now, as I said, to complete this relic, you do have to complete the boss fight around 60, so make sure you got all your tier 2 relics enabled before you go into the game. But once you're in the game, I highly recommend you get all the Easter egg steps done to the point where you can interact with Klaus to start the boss fight. I recommend doing this as soon as possible, so you haven't got to mess about doing Easter egg steps when you get to the higher rounds. Now, getting around 60 is a challenge on its own, but there are a few ways to make this a lot easier for you and also a lot quicker. The first way is the way that I done it, is sitting in the jail cell right next to where you activate Klaus. All I done was just use my toxic growth and just kill the zombies with either the gauntlet or the ray gun. And then whenever I got a Doppelgast or even a bear, I would just throw a Casimir just to kill them a lot easier. You're going to have a ton of points and also a ton of salvage, so if you do manage to run out of Casimir, all you have to do is go to the crafting table at the other side of Ashwood and then buy a couple for the next round. You do not want to be running out of Casimirs if a bear comes, trust me. This spot can get a little bit hectic, so I would recommend buying an injection kill streak, just in case you get into a situation where you look like you're going to die. All you have to do is just pop your injection and just get yourself out the jail cell. Another safe spot is using the room home next to Speed Cola at Blackwater Lake. All I done here was just use my toxic growth by the door, and the zombies only come from in front of you, and just killing them with the gauntlet and the ray gun. This spot is probably the safest spot, because if it does get too overwhelming, you can just jump outside the window. The only problem is, it is going to be a little bit slower. But once you've reached round 61 and you've got all your perks and gobble gums like a max ammo, power keg, or even a shields up, all you have to do is interact with Klaus and then make your way over to the boss fight. Now, this is a challenge on its own. All I can recommend is just to take your time and do not rush, because this can be very challenging. But once you have completed the boss fight, you are going to now be able to complete the Dragon's Head relic. Now, to find the portal, you will find it at Blackwater Lake as soon as you spawn back in from the boss fight. Portal will be at the front of the cabin. All I can say is just get some more gobble gums like an insta-kill, a max ammo, and also some Casmirs, because you are only going to be able to kill zombies with explosive weapons. So you're only going to be able to use guns like the gauntlet, the ray gun, the rocket launcher, and also your Semtex and your grenades, etc. So before going into this boss fight, I highly recommend that you get all the way to Pack-a-Punch 3 and also ultra rarity if you are using the rocket launcher or something like that. But once you have gone through the portal and entered the trial, you're going to be granted with 6 waves. Now for wave 1, you just have to kill zombies and specials like Doppelgas all the way up to the bar is complete. Obviously, this bar is only going to go up with zombies that you kill with explosive weapons. Wave 2 is exactly the same. You just have to kill zombies like specials, and also you might get a bear. For wave 3, this is the hard bit. You have to kill 2 HVTs, one of them being a Doppelgas and the other one being a bear. This can be very tricky, to just make sure you take your time. How I done this, I was just running rings around Blackwater Lake, just using my ray gun and my gauntlet, and just using Semtex whenever I pick them up. Wave 4 and 5 are exactly the same as 1 and 2. You just have to kill zombies, but you are going to get bears and loads of Doppelgas. And then for wave 6, you have to kill 3 HVTs, 2 of them being Doppelgas and another one being a bear. But once you have completed all 6 of these waves, you are going to be granted with the Dragon Wings relic. Now for the final one, we have got the boss relic. Now to do this, there are a few things that I would recommend before starting your cursed game. And the first thing is to go over to your augments, head over to ammo mods, and select brain rot. I would recommend running big game, which means that brain rot can charm elite enemies. And then for the minor augments, run haste, which means brain rot cooldown is reduced. And then if you have completed the brain rot augment, also run the super serum, which means that it will increase the damage dealt by charmed enemies. And then while you're still in your augments, I recommend going down to elemental pop and make sure you got citrus focus on, which means that if a weapon has an ammo mod applied, elemental pop will only activate that one. And then for a minor augment, run chillberry, which means reduce elemental pop cooldown. Once that's all done and you're ready to load up your game, you want to make sure that you're on tier 2 cursed mode, as this is a tier 3 relic. And once that's all done, the first thing you need to do is grind your way to round 60, as this relic can only be activated after this round. But once reaching round 60, this challenge is very easy to do. All you have to do is go a full round without taking a single hit from a zombie. I would recommend waiting for a Ravager round, just like I did here. I didn't get a Ravager round to round 67. And the best thing to do is to go over to Vandal Farm and use the trap, and the trap should last the whole round without you taking any damage whatsoever. After you completed this, you should be able to hear the Mr. Pete's laugh, which means that you have done this correctly. And after that, head over to Blackwater Lake, where the portal is going to be on the side of the boat cabin. Before going into the portal, there is a few things that I would highly recommend, because this is one of the most hardest relic challenges that I've done so far in Black Ops 7. Like, make sure you go and grab all your gobble gums. For instance, I took insta-kill, cashback, and also shields up. Not only that, I recommend bringing some Casmirs, and make sure your guns are fully upgraded, as in Pack-a-Punch 3 and also ultra rarity. I would also recommend bringing the Akita shotgun, as this is like one of the best shotguns in the game at the moment. Once entering the portal, you're going to be granted with the Wicked Troll, which means that zombies can only be killed by other charmed zombies, which means that you can only complete all the trials by using just brain rot. And this trial is very difficult, so please make sure that you take as much time as needed, as there is 6 waves to complete. The first one just being normal zombies and special zombies. The second one also being just normal zombies and special zombies and possibly a bear. The third one being 2 HVTs. The fourth and fifth is just killing normal zombies, special zombies, and also elites. And then the sixth one is killing 2 HVTs, which is also a bear, by the way. So this can be very, very challenging. The only thing that I would recommend doing is only using your brain rot weapon on the elites and special zombies, just like I did here. I kept on aiming for the Doppelgast and also the mimics and the bear, as this is where the big game augment on your brain rot comes in so handy, as they seem to do the most damage to the normal zombies and also the HVT. The best way that I found this is to just run rings around the cabin and just focus in on all the Doppelgasts. And then when it's also the 2 HVT round, I would throw a Casimir just to damage the HVT a little bit, because you can also do damage to the HVT. The only thing that you can't do is kill them. You have to kill them with a brain rot zombie, so it can be quite demanding. But once completed all 6 waves in this wicked relic trial, you are going to be granted with the bus tier 3 relic. I really hope this video helped you out, and if it did help you out, make make sure you smash that like button. And if you want to see all everyday Black Ops 7 zombie videos, please make sure you also hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 2K subscribers, so thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.